This is a situation I see all the time. I go into a factory and they say, hey, we're having a heck of a time getting the surface finish that we want. And I say, okay, let's go check out your grinding parameters, let's check out your wheel. And almost always they're using a grit size that's way too large for the surface finish that they're trying to achieve. So you're trying to get a 0.4 micron surface finish with a 60 grit wheel. That's going to be really, really tough. And here's why. This is a chart that shows the grit size you should be using for the surface finish you want to achieve. So for example, you're using a 60 grit wheel, and that should give you about a 1.1 micron or maybe a 44 micro inch surface finish. But you're trying to get a 0.4 micron or a 16 micro inch surface finish. Now actually, this chart should be a band. So if you dress your wheel really aggressively, your surface finish will be rougher. If you dress it really timidly, which is what a lot of people do to get that surface finish down, but it's going to result in a lot of headaches for you. Number one, that dull wheel is going to generate a lot of heat and give you burn. Number two, that dull wheel is going to give you really large normal forces and probably give you chatter. So here's a better option. Instead of using that 60 grit wheel, use, let's say, a 100 grit wheel or even a 120 grit wheel. Now you can really open up that wheel in dressing. It'll be very easy to get that 0.4 micron surface finish or 16 micro inch surface finish, and you won't have big heat generation, you won't have big normal forces and chatter, and you'll find that a lot of the fighting that you're doing with other issues in grinding will disappear, and you'll be able to achieve that surface finish pretty easily. The one drawback is you'll probably have a little more wheel wear, which you can probably deal with. And this is a situation I get all the time. People use a grit size that's too large. It's really a no-brainer. Look at the chart, figure out about where you should be, and use the grit size that you should be using. End of story.